Hey everybody, it's Robin Scherzer with Robin Stampin' Hood, and today I wanted to make this cute little adorable box that I saw another demo do, and I just kind of adjusted it a little bit for me and what I'm doing. And we actually made this box at our last Make and Take 3, so that would have been the last Friday in February. So I wanted to show you how to make it. It's so cute. The cow punch, the Cutest cow punch, is so stinking cute. I just love it. So there's our little cow. And then if you open the box, there's cow tails in it. Is that perfect? I love this for a gift that you could give to co-workers, party favor. Shoot, even when the county fair is coming up this summer, you could do that for any of the kids that are in the county fair with 4-H. So I just thought it was so cute and I wanted to show you how to make it. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're going to, let's get our cow put together, okay? And here's a little tip for you. So I already have my cow all positioned out. And if you look on the punch, now he's upside down. So what I did, and I'll show you here real quick, so you can kind of see how it works. So I just took like a template. So I'm punching them all out. You got all those blank pieces that now we won't need. But then what I would do is I would take him and I took all his pieces, laid him in this template like that. So when it comes to stamping and punching him out, and then I set my block on top of it. So then when it comes to punching him out, it's so much easier. And because this is photopolymer, I hope that made sense. Because it's photopolymer, I do need a mat underneath me. You know, sometimes it's kind of a crapshoot. You can sometimes get it to stamp fine, but what I have found is with the bigger stamps, we definitely want to use the photopolymer, or I'm sorry, use the mat underneath you. Okay, so I think I have him inked up good enough, and we're gonna go ahead and stamp him at the bottom here. Pull it up, perfect. And if you're wondering what those are if you want to make a horn for him. If you wanted to make it a boy cow, you could do that. So then I'm going to take my punch and go back in, and you can see I have it perfectly lined up with everything that's stamped. So then you're not wasting your paper. Now this little piece is actually his muzzle that you could make a different color if you wanted to, but I'm actually not going to use that. And again, that would be his horns. And this is the end of his little swishy tail. Can you see that? Right there is a little swishy tail. So that's kind of fun. So we're going to pop him out. And you have a few of the blank pieces that you don't need. But there he is. Is he not the cutest stinking cow you've ever seen? Yes. So I am just gonna do some gray with him. So we're gonna grab our smoky slate, and I should have had that ready before, but it's okay. So I'm just gonna use the pointed end because it's just easier to control. So color in his little spots. So cute. And I'm a circle person when I use the blends. You can see I'm just doing this instead of lines. It's just, I don't know, I feel like I can control it a little better when I do it that way. And we're gonna color in his tail too and give his little hoofs some color as well. He is so cute, you guys. I just love him. Okay, so there he is. Oh, well, you need to give him, now this cow is blinking at us, but this cow, he's just staring at us. But I do need to grab a pink. So I'm gonna just grab my light petal pink, And we're gonna color a little bit in his ears, give him a little color in the ears, and then go on his muzzle. And whenever you use blends, you guys remember you have to use Memento ink, otherwise it will just smear all over and not be the greatest looking. Now, I used a different pink on him, more of a fleshy colored pink, so you can see compared to that one there, but that's okay, right? We're doing different stuff here. Okay, so now what I want to do before I put the ink away is I'm going to go ahead, and in this stamp set is the thank you, and I'm just going to give it let's see, we're going to cut this away here. I'm just going to cut off this piece so we can use it for the thank you. Move our little cow over here. I'm just going to do thank you, and you can see that's that little thank you there. So this does come in the cow set, the thank you. And if I had the cow set, I could show you that. I guess I should show you that. There's right there. So there's the thank you right there. And again, if you wanted to use that piece of the muzzle, you can see where you could stamp the muzzle and pop the muzzle up if you wanted, or the nose, the mouthpiece. So this is such a fun set, you guys. I love it. Okay, I know I've said that a million times already. Okay. I think it's because I live in Wisconsin and, you know, cow. All right. So this is the best label. I'm just punching it out with that. All right. And let's get this stuff out of the way. Excuse me. Before I put my hands in the ink, right? So I'm actually just going to put a dimensional right here. And then I'm going to lay his head on top of it, or her head on top of it. And just to give her a popped up little head. Now, isn't that cute, you guys? Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna set her aside along with our little piece here, and then we're gonna go ahead, excuse me, and we are going to do the box. So I messed this box up big time for my crew that was here for Make and Take 3, but I think I got it figured out now. So this is actually a 6 by 7.5 piece, and I'm actually using the thick white cardstock just because it's got a better heft to it. And landscape, we are going to go ahead and I'm actually going to do it this way because it's easier. We're going to do a 1/2 inch landscape, okay? And I'm just going to keep going it this way. It's just easier to do it on that other side sometimes. And then 1.5 inch landscape that way, okay? And now we're going to turn it portrait ways, and we are going to score at 1, 2 3/4, 3 3/4. A little bit of a dimensional there. And 5.5. So that's going to be right there. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, I realized I didn't tell you guys that it has to be a 1/2 inch on both sides and 1.5 inches on both sides when you're doing it landscape. So I did a 1/2 inch, 1.5 inch, and then I turned it and did the same thing. So it's equal on both sides. But let's go ahead and assemble our box. I think we're good other than that. So the first thing you're gonna do is we're gonna cut off some pieces. So this is the lip of the box. So when you're looking at the box, you can see it's that lip right there. And then we're gonna go ahead and cut off some of these unnecessary rectangles. So you're gonna cut off up to that piece. In my head, it's easier to keep straight that this is the lip of that box. And then I can kind of see where everything else goes from there. So we're going to cut off these 2 end triangle pieces at the lip of the box. So these 2 and these 2. So I guess 4 is what you're going to cut off. Excuse me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an old corner rounder and, oops, I didn't get it all the way in there. So we're going to try that again. Corner rounder for the edge or the lip of the box. Okay, so there we have a little bit of a corner rounder. If your corner rounder does that, I just kind of give it a little bit of a snip. So that should be good. Okay, so then the rest of what we want to do is we want to go ahead and cut up to those score lines there. And we actually don't need these little rectangles right here. Okay, so then you're looking like that now. And we're going to do the same thing. We're cutting directly across from where we just cut. Do that. Do that. And then we're going to cut off these little rectangles here. And here. And I am going to go back to my corner rounder and I'm going to round these as well. So I'm just going to kind of flip these back so they're out of the way. Make sure that's nice and tight into your corner rounder so you get the round that you need. Do that. And then we're going to do, oops, bend those back again, as you can kind of see that. Okay. Okay, so does that make sense? And then, because we're making a box, it's always nice to have that little bit of the miter coming out of these, like this. Okay, and then it makes the box a little easier to tuck and fold. So we're gonna do that. And we're gonna do it on this side as well. And then those little sides aren't sticking out. In case your measurement's a little off, it'll still make it nice, if that makes sense. And like I said, we did this at our Make and Take 3 last month, and my measurements were off. And one gal, for some reason, the box worked for her. Everybody else looked at me like I had lost my mind. So hopefully this box will work. All right, so now I'm just gonna take my bone folder and I'm gonna give a nice burnish to everything on the score lines. Okay, so the easiest way to do this that I have found is these little folds are gonna go in like this, okay? And then you're gonna bring this up to it. Can you see that? So it's gonna be like this. But before we do that, I wanna go ahead and put on my decorations because it can be a little difficult. So I went ahead and cut this little piece here and I embossed it with the dots folder. That's an online exclusive. So this is from the Daisy paper that's in the main catalog, and this is lemon lime twist. So we're gonna go ahead and put this together real quick. Put some glue on that. It just kind of reminded me, when I chose this paper, it just kind of reminded me of grass. And then I chose the lemon lime because that's the color that goes with this. These dots stand up so much, you just want to make sure you get a good adhesive on there so it sticks down. And then what I'm going to do before I put it down on my box is I want to take my ribbon, which is the black gingham, and I'm just going to cut a small piece because what I'm going to end up doing is putting it down underneath. So I'm going to take my glue dots and I'm just going to put one right there. See how I have it on the other side there? And then I'm going to put one right there. So now I have glue dots on the inside, which will get glued down. And I'm going to bring this down and around. And I have a little too much. I'm just going to trim that off and bring this around the back. So you're not bringing your ribbon all the way around. I'm going to just trim that a little bit more. And then you have your piece that you're going to put here. So then what I'll do is I'll use glue, and I'll also put glue over the ribbon to make sure it stays down. And you're saving yourself a little bit of ribbon by doing that, and then it's not quite as bulky as it would be if you had the ribbon going through the whole side. All right, let's see here. I'm just framing, excuse me, I'm framing out the white there. It's just easier when the box is flat to put all that on there. And yeah, so we're just gonna do that first. So we'll do that. And then I do want a bow. You can see my prototype has a bow. So I went ahead and did a bow on my bow maker. I didn't want to force you guys to watch my horrible bow making skills. So I'm going to take a glue dot, put it on the back side there, and I'm just gonna put my ribbon on real quick so it looks like it's been, like I'm fancy, right? Wow. All right, and then we're gonna take our little thank you, and I'm actually gonna use dimensionals, and I think I'll use little dimensionals because it's a small, look at how beat up my dimensionals are. But I'm gonna put one on one end, oops, and one on the other end. Oh my goodness. This is always the hardest part, isn't it? I know there's easier ways to do it. I'm just lazy. Then I'm gonna put the thank you across. And then that way I have the dimensionals holding it down instead of on top of the ribbon, if that makes sense. Whenever you are doing something that is going to be opened and closed and played with, I always make sure that I am going to use tear and tape, and I just totally rack that up. So I want to, you can see, you can't just pull it off. It will hold your box down for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead, do this, this, and we want to do that on all 4 of those flaps. Okay, so you can see I put the tear and tape on all 4 flaps. I did pull this tear and tape off, and I want to show you then how you're going to bring it up. And this is actually, the end is where you really want it to stick to. And I'm making sure the, the corners are going to get square with what I've done, okay? So we want to make sure those are all square. And I'm giving them a little bit of a rub so they hold together there. And then we're going to pull this tear and tape off and do the same thing. Oops, I think I just pulled off some of the glue too. I did. All right. And then again, we're gonna bring this down and we're gonna square it up with those corners. Be careful there. Do it with that corner. And you just wanna give it a good rub. And now you have your cute little box. Is that adorbs? I think it is. I think it's pretty darn adorable. Oops. And this is where I might have had some issues right there with my corner rounder, so you just have to kind of make an adjustment there. But there you go. Isn't that cute? So let's add our little cow. How now? Brown cow. Well, gray cow, right? So we'll go ahead and put one there, and there, oops, and there, and pull these little buggers off. Come on. Oh my goodness. Okay. Put a little cow. Hello, brown cow. He's so cute. I'm gonna just open this up so I can press him down because it is pretty stinking cute. All right, so you can see. Then you have your little box, and let's find. I know I have some cow tails left because this is such a cute idea, and I just found the cow tails at the Dollar Tree in their candy section. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is like the most perfect thing to fit in this box. Again, I got this idea from another demo and I just kind of made it my own, did my own. See, I will have to go ahead and I'm gonna trim this down because you can see that this is not quite rounding how we want it to round. It's getting in the way of the box closure, and my finger might be pressing on it too. But there you go. You can see, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, 2 cute little cow tail boxes, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and you can purchase all of the supplies to make this on my website at robinscherzer.stampinup.net. Thanks for stopping by, and happy stamping.